Hello, hello, hello. I'm live. I'm first time Facebook Live. So I have my tablet here that I'm going to try to look at the comments at the same time. So let's do this. I'm going to wait a few minutes for everybody to get on. There may not be anybody on. So let's see. Please let me know if you're actually in the live. I don't know. Go live. Oh, there we go. I see him now. All right. Okay. Kathy, Angela, Christina. I'm going to wait a few minutes for Tammy to get on because these are actually her numbers. So we'll give her a few minutes. She might be running late, and that's okay. Screen looks backwards. Okay, so let me see what that means. Is that better? Let me know if everything is still looking backwards or not, if possible. There you go. Oh, thank you, Kathy. The only thing now is I can't see the screen. So here's what we're going to do. Let me see if I can get the comments actually on my tablet. Just give me 1 second. Okay, I think we've got it. Please let me know if everything is okay before I start on the numbers because I don't want anybody to not be able to see the board. Okay, I think we've got it. Please let me know if everything is okay before I start on the numbers because I don't want anybody to not be able to see the board. Hi, Tammy. So Tammy's on now. Thank everybody. I'm not going to go through everybody's name and say thank you. I'll go through later and say thank you. I know it's late for some of you guys. I'm not going to go through everybody's name and say thank you. I'll go through later and say thank you. I know it's late for some of you guys. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start. We do have all the boards here so we can see them. I will be switching the boards to make it a little quicker for you all. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start. Let me turn this volume down. You guys, I don't need to hear myself. I hear myself every day. So let's go through here real quick and see if this one's writing. Give me 1 second. All right. I've had a couple of issues, not issues, but people are asking me what the 6 numbers are. I'm going to go through them one more time, actually on this video in a little bit more detail than normal. So the 6 numbers that I'm looking for in order to help anybody, or if you're trying to help one of your family members or anything, is the numbers. What you need is you're going to need the income, and the income is the net income, not your gross, but the net income. What is actually coming in, either direct deposit or actually written a check to you. That's your income. That's monthly. Your expenses monthly, and your expenses are, you know, gas, utilities, water, food, rent, mortgage, car payment. And then the cash flow, what that number is if you take the income minus your expenses, that's where you get the cash flow. This is your original cash flow. What Velocity Banking is trying to do is to raise that cash flow, so that cash flow then, as you start paying off debts, that cash flow goes up, and then you're able to pay off your debt tool quicker to become debt free. That's, you know, ultimately all of our goals. So I'm going to stop there and make sure in the notes to make sure I'm actually can you turn off sound on tablet? Give me 1 second. Not for sure how to do that. Did that help? Is it still echoing? If anybody can answer. I noticed somebody had said that it's echoing. I want to make sure. So that did help. So it's not echoing anymore. Okay, great. So are we good to go? If you could just give me a thumbs up or a yes, that'd be great. Okay, Christina and Nikki, thanks. We're good to go. Okay. So there's a few people that are coming in. Dave just got here. We're going over the 6 numbers that you need before you can even start Velocity Cash Flow Banking. No echoes now. Thank you, Christina. We're good to go. Okay. So again, we're going back to the income. You need your monthly income. You need your expenses. And then your cash flow is your income minus your expenses. That's your starting cash flow. You also need to know what your debt total is that you're trying to use Velocity Banking to pay off. And in this case, Tammy's numbers is we're trying to pay off, and I know this is going to be different than what we talked about last night, Tammy, but I added up your debts, and it's actually $24,500. And she's going to be using a credit card, a $25,000 credit limit, at a 9.6%. She does not have a 0% APR, but it is a cash back. So yes, it is going to be accruing interest, but it's simple interest versus her car loan and her taxes are amortized interest. So that's the debt tool we're going to be using, which is a $25,000 credit card. And the other number we need, which is the 6th number, is we need to know what is 70% of that debt tool. The reason why I am okay with charging or spending 70% is because on your credit score, you have to take into account utilization, which will make your credit score go down or up at any given time throughout the month. So those are the 6 numbers we need right off the bat. So please let me know if everybody heard that. Just give me a thumbs up. And I'm not going to ask anybody to share this or to do anything because I don't really, like I said, this is my first one, so I don't want, to share it to everybody and then people are like, who is this crazy lady? So you can always, tag it and share it to somebody after the video is completely done. So, okay, Nikki said we're good. Okay, so since now we have our 6 numbers, now what we have to do is we have to determine on her income versus her expenses what she can pay with the credit card. Because remember, not all your expenses you can pay with the credit card. Mortgages, car notes, taxes, some student loans, rent payments, a lot of those are not able to use a credit card to make the payment. So in her case, she has rent and church, and that's $800. So of this $1,850 in expenses, $800 has to stay in her checking account. So she can either write a check or pay her tithing for her church in a check or debit card or however she's doing that in her church. So that has to stay in her checking. So you do have to determine that right off the bat, because if you just go and put all your income and use your debt tool as your checking account, it's going to be very difficult to be paying now your rent in church. Now you're going to have to use some other method, and we don't want to cause any more issues or charge any more fees to do that. So $800 of her expenses is going to be staying in her checking. Okay, so her cash flow right now, I know I have this all written up here, but her cash flow right now as of August is $350. The very first month, we are going to be paying off things. So here's what we're going to be doing. We're going to come over here, and I'm going to show you her debt, making sure everybody can see it. I know I have a delay on my tablet, so I'm not really for sure. I'm making sure this is all on the screen here. So everything's in the screen here. We have Tammy's debts, 24.5. She's got a car loan that has $8,000 left on it. She pays $457 a month. She has taxes, that's $9.5 thousand, and she pays $115. She has 3 credit cards. I know I'm out of the picture here, but let me just make sure. I got a delay here. I'm just trying to make sure that we can actually get the screen in the Facebook. Is this screen actually still showing in the Facebook? Okay, Sandra, thank you. Okay. So, like again, anybody that's new on, this is my first Facebook Live, so if I'm asking questions that normal people don't ask, it's because it's my first time I've ever doing it, so I'm just trying to make sure that I don't miss out and I have to go back and do it again. So, she's got five debts we're trying to pay off. She's got a car loan, taxes, and 3 credit cards. She's got a $5,000 credit card that she pays $75 monthly on. She's got a $900 credit card, she's paying $40 a month. She has a $1,100 credit card. She's paying $46 a month. 40 and 46, excuse me. So I'm going to let that set, let you guys kind of look at that board right now, give you a few minutes to look at her debts, and then also look at her 6 numbers, also look at how much she needs to keep in her checking, and this is what her cash flow is right now before our very first lump sum chunk. So I'm just going to give you a few minutes just to look at the board. So I'm not going too fast. I'm giving you a few minutes just to kind of look at it real quick. And I'm going to be right back. I'm going to get a drink of water. Okay, I think that's enough time for everybody to look at the board. We went over the 6 numbers, we went over the debts, we went over what needs to stay in her checking account because we cannot use her credit card to pay the rent in the church. So here's what we're going to do. Now we're actually going to do the totals so you can see this. So on our debt tool, we can use we can go as high as $17.5 thousand to pay off these debts. That's as high as we can go where I feel comfortable, which will make it easier to pay off. And also it won't affect her debt to income ratio or her oh my, there's an alarm. So here we go. If those go off again, I might have to pause it really quick and come back, and I'll just if you hear those alarms, I'm just going to have to dismiss them. So debt tool. So the debt tool balance, the very first month, which is going to be September coming up, we are actually going to be paying off the car note first because it's going to free up the most cash flow. And I think if we talked about it, she's got 17 or 18 months left on that. It might even be more than that, but we did find out that $94 is going to interest every single month on that car loan. Every single month. So we want to get that paid off as soon as possible. So what we're going to do is we're going to take her debt tool, and she does have cash back too. Okay, so her income, so the lump sum chunk 1 that we're going to be paying off is going to be her car loan and these 3 credit cards we're going to be paying off. That's why I put D1, D3, D4, and D5. If you add those all up, you got this amount and this amount. We are no longer going to be paying those monthly payments. So now we just freed up $655 in cash flow in 1 month. Yes, we did transfer those balances over to the debt tool, but it's going to be quicker to pay off because now we're not paying this interest to this car loan anymore. We're actually putting it right to the debt tool, which is going to be a little bit of interest on there, and I'll show you at the end exactly how much interest she's going to be saving, putting it on her credit card versus still paying her car note. It might be shaky for just 1 second. Okay, we're back. Okay, please let me know if we're back again. Okay, sorry about that. I failed to turn off my notifications on my phone before I started the live video, so we should be okay for right now. So, tell me when everybody's back. I'll make sure I'll go back through here. Okay, we should be good to go now. So, we're going to be paying off these 4 debts, which is D1, D3, D4, D5. Some people call it chunking. I like to call it lump sum chunking because a lot of people don't understand sometimes what a chunk means. All I'm saying is it's a lump sum payment. So a lump sum payment, chunk 1, everybody kind of refers to it differently. So we're going to pay those off, and that's $10,500. That's going to be your balance on your debt tool right off the bat, Tammy, in September. Now remember, we just freed up $655. So now our cash flow went from $350 to $1,000 in 1 month because now we've paid off the car note and these 3 credit cards. And that is also going to help your utilization too. Yes, you did add a debt tool balance. You added a balance on your debt tool, which is your credit card, but you paid off these as well, which that does help out. So let me see here. So let's go on. Let me make sure. April says I'm back. Tammy says I'm back. Can you add those numbers again? What numbers would you like me to add back again? I just want to make sure I'm adding the numbers that you're wanting. That should be about 15K. That is about 15K. Oh, you guys are right. Hold on just a second. I get 618. The debt numbers. Okay. Like again, I'm going to be making some mistakes, so please, we're going to figure this out. So let me add this up real super quick. So 457, 75, 40, and 46. You are right. This is actually 618. Okay. The payments and the debts are off. 618 is these four debts together. Okay? And actually, you are right. Hold on just 1 second. Because I think what it was is this $5,000 credit card we did not add in the first chunk. That's what it was right here. So give me 1 second. I am correcting this, so this is live. This is good for me too, so let's go back to here. And this was $75. So if I add these three up, it should add up to the 10.5. Okay, so the freed up is going to be $543. Making sure I'm right. Yeah. Give me a second. I'm adding it all up here. 398. There we go. And then if we add the 8,000 and 1,100 and 900, that should be your 10.5. Actually, it should be less than that, but we might just keep it at 10.5 since I already have it on here. So hold on just 1 second. Let me add that up real quick. That's still off. It's 10K even, or am I wrong? Chris, I think you're right. Give me 1 second. I think what we did is I think we originally were going to pay off this credit card, but I think when I remember now, Tammy, please correct me, is the credit card, her debt tool is Navy Federal, and this credit card is a Navy Federal card, and you can't do a balance transfer from one Navy card to another. So we're going to have to find some other way to pay off this $5,000 with this credit card. And we're probably going to have to use plastic or Square or PayPal or some other method to pay off this debt right here. So give me 1 second, because you can't pay a Navy Federal with a Navy Federal. So Tammy, please correct me if I am wrong. I'm going to give myself a second here real quick. Hey Chris, I got your message. Actually, what it was is we were trying to put the 5 in there, but either way, I think we're gonna, even though it's supposed to be $10,000, the 8,000, the 900, we're gonna leave it at 10.5 just for this experiment, so I can let Tammy get her numbers, and I'll go back and I'll change the board and I'll take pictures of it to give Tammy the right amount. I'd rather it be higher than lower. So we're still paying off the car. We're still paying off the 2 credit cards. We freed up $543. We're saving $94 a month in interest. So I am actually going to delete this one right here. So does that look right? I still know this is supposed to be 10,000, but I already have the numbers added, and I don't want to keep doing it and going back and forth with the calculator. So is everybody okay with this? We're going to start with 10,500. That's going to pay off the car loan and the 2 credit cards. Is anybody confused? Because if you are confused, please raise your hand, and I can go offline after we're done here and redo it as well and take a screenshot. April, yes, you can do a cash advance, and actually this card, Tammy explained to me that there's no cash advance fees. The only thing is you're still going to have this percentage off of here, and it's still a Navy Federal to a Navy Federal. So we still need to make sure that it's not going to cause any red flags with Navy Federal. They're real picky, just to let you guys know. Not a lot of banks, but Navy Federal really frown on paying off their loans with their credit cards or vice versa. So we just don't want to do that right off the bat. So we're going to hold on to this 5,000 and try to figure out some other way to pay it off. But we will be looking into that. Okay, Kathy, you're good. I know we got a whole bunch of, I don't even know, 15 people on here. So I just need to make sure that we're cleared up now with the numbers. We're not paying off 4 of them. We're going to pay off 3 of them. in the first month, and we're going to free up $543 in cash flow. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. So we're going to go through here, and just like all my other videos and everybody else's videos that does, not everybody's videos, but I try to put it separate on what income comes in and what expenses go out. So this is what I try to do. Kathy's asking if Tammy is good. She may not be on right now, so I'm going to go ahead and go, and this is going to be posted, so it's going to be saved, so she'll be able to go back, and I'll be able to put that, but I'm pretty sure we're good to go here. I just need to make sure. I'll give her like a couple of seconds here to answer. I'm going to step off so you all can look at the screen. Okay, Tammy, time's up. So I'll get back with you on Tammy. So here we go. So income comes in September, which is $1,400, and how I came up with that number, it's $2,200 minus, remember, $2,200, she has to keep $800 in her checking account. So 800 minus, or 800, 2,200 minus 800 is $1,400. So that's what she has coming in every single month. Okay, Tammy just answered, so good deal. So that's where we're coming up with the $1,400 in income, because remember, 800 has to stay in the checking account. So income comes in, expenses go out, and the expenses, remember, expenses are $1,850 minus, the 800, and also minus what we just paid off. So there's your expenses. October income comes in, expenses go out. November, same thing. Income in, expenses go out. Income in, expenses go out. I'm not going to add back what her cash back is going to be and all that. It's going to be a little bit, but it's going to be minimal compared to the interest we're going to be saving. And then if we get down to January, so we started at 10.5 and we go all the way down, and in January she's at $5,080. Okay? Now remember, we paid off this car. So we're going to show at the very end how much interest you actually end up paying off. So in 5 months, so September, October, November, December, and January, we're down to $5,000 when we started at 10.5. I'm going to switch screens so we can finish the rest of it. So give me 1 second. Okay, we're back. Everybody see the screen? I got the new screen up. Or the new whiteboard screen. Okay, Tammy says we're good. I think there might be a delay on actually the live comments down there. So I just need to make sure everybody can see this new whiteboard here I put up. I'm going to give you a second just to look at it really quick. It's okay, Tammy. I've been called worse. I'm going to give you guys a second to look at the board. Okay, so in January, this is what the debt tool balance is after she gets paid in January. All right, then her expenses come out in January, and now her debt tool is down to $54.75. This is when we want to go and we want to pay those taxes off. It's going to free up $115. As you can revert back to the other screen, it's going to be $115 is what she pays for the taxes. So we're going to do a lump sum to free up that monthly money. And here's where I come up with, I know originally she owed $9,500, but we've been paying on it for 5 months now. And we kind of calculated that it's probably going to be about $50 of this payment is going to interest, or going actually to the principal every single month. So in 5 months, she's paid $115, but really only $200 just went towards the principal or the balance of the taxes. So she still owes $9,300. Oh, thank you, Angela. I am a little nervous, but I'll get better at it. I'm hoping. So the new taxes is $9,300. So we're going to add that to her already $5,400 debt tool. And then, so here's what we're at $54.75. We're going to add the taxes. We're going to pay it off in a lump sum. Same thing, same debt tool. We're using the same debt tool. And then her income comes in February. Same thing, $1,400. The only thing different that's going to happen is this right here is actually going to be different. These numbers right here, actually, because we were at, let's put it down here, 395 minus 115. Oh no, it was right. Okay, never mind. Okay, I was right. Awesome. Okay, so that was right. Sorry about that. So this is her new expenses now. It's no longer the 395. So in February, she gets paid. February, expenses go out that she's paying with her credit card, getting the cash back. March, expenses come in again. Oh, I think I got a little, I might have to close this. Give me 1 second. Is the glare gone now? I think I had a glare on there. I think I'm better now. Okay. Yeah, there we go. So we're down here now. February, income comes in. February, expenses go out. March, income comes in. Same thing, expenses go out. And the end of March, we're at $12,500. So now we went from $10,000 to $5,000. Now we're back up to $12,000. Instead of keep going and getting a whole bunch of different ones and erasing things, I'm going to show you how you can take the balance here and divide it by how much cash flow you have coming in, and tells you how many months you have left to pay on it. So give me 1 second. I'm going to do that real quick. So $350 was the original cash flow. Then we added $543. That, remember, paid off 3 of the bills. And then we just added another one, which was the taxes. So all these we're not paying anymore. So we are at 9. So this is our new cash flow right here. So if you take your income minus your extra cash flow you have, okay, and I could do, I guess, the best I can here, 9. Is that right? 392? Oh, actually, that wouldn't be it. Sorry. Okay. Making sure everybody understands. Does everybody understand what the cash flow means before I go any further? I don't want to go any further if you're not understanding the cash flow. So we started out with $350 extra every month. We paid off 3 bills. and we're not paying those monthly payments anymore, which was the car payment and the 2 credit cards, and we just paid off the taxes. Now we actually have freed up money of the $2,200, because remember she had originally $2,200 in income, and of that $2,200, she's freed up $1,008 in cash flow that we're going to put directly to this debt tool to pay it off quicker. So please give me a thumbs up or if you understand. Okay, so it looks like I don't see any thumbs up, but I think I might be delayed. So this is your new cash flow. So all we're doing is, if it's extra money, we are actually just going to divide this by this number, and it will tell you how many months it's going to take to pay off this. Okay, so we're just going to divide it by the cash flow, which is this number right here. Okay, so you're going to divide it by this. Give me 1 second. I'm going to do that real quick. So you're going to take the $12,535, and you're going to divide it by 1,008, because that's the extra money that you have coming in your income that you're going to put right to the debt tool. Now, and I was telling Tammy on the phone the other day that if an emergency happens, okay, we all get a little bit antsy and we're like, oh gosh, I got to use this cash flow and do the emergency. You keep using this cash flow to pay this debt tool down. She's got freed up money on a credit card that she can use for an a tire blows out, you know, things go wrong with cars, stuff like that. So I know it's always hard to say, oh my gosh, I don't have any money in savings, or I don't have enough money. You can use your credit cards as an emergency temporarily, and then you'd be using your cash flow to pay that back off. So this is going to be, it's going to take 12.43 months to pay the debt tool to zero. Please let me know if everybody understands that. We just took the debt tool balance that we have right now, which is the end of March 2021, and we divided it by the extra cash flow she has coming in, because we're not making that tax payment anymore, we're not making that car payment anymore, and we're not making those 2 credit cards anymore. So I'm just going to round up and make it easier. I'm just going to say it's going to take 12.5 months. All right? So that means in April of 2022, now mind you, we still have the $5,000 credit card that we weren't, from Navy Federal, that we did not pay off, that she's paying $75 a month. We might adjust this come January or February if we kind of figure out a different way to pay that off through Navy Federal. So as of April, she's only going to have one debt, which is going to be that one credit card. And by this time, you're going to talk, what is that, 17 months? She's going to be paying on that credit card $75 times 12 and a half months. So 12, 13, 14, so 5, 6, 7. So that is actually times 19 months. So she's going to be paying that credit card this whole time. So let me know if you have any questions real quick. I'm not going to get off here. I'm just going to ask you if you're understanding why I'm not going to continue on the board. You just take your debt tool balance, you divide it by the cash flow you have coming in extra, and that tells you how many months it's going to take to get this debt tool down to zero. Yes, Chris, she can use plastic, but we're trying to figure out if what plastic is going to charge. I think it's 2.85%, and we can do that, and we probably will do that, but we're probably going to do it, I would say, what we're probably going to do, if we do it, I don't want to add it up here because remember she can only go to 17.5. 70% of her debt tool is only 17,500. So we're going to have to wait for this balance to get down to maybe at least $9,000. We want this debt tool to be down to $9,000 before we even add a $5,000 balance on there, you know, and then we start over again. So yes, she can use plastic, and right now I'm pretty sure plastic is 2.85% interest. But we're also might be also talking to Navy Federal about upping the credit limit on there, seeing if they're going to give us a different interest rate on there. So we're doing some other things with that $5,000 card as well. Tammy, thank you for answering that. So Chris, Tammy actually answered that too. That's cool. So, okay. Kathy, thank you so much for adding that up for me. So what Kathy was saying is she actually already answered it. So we started out at $5,000 on that extra credit card, which is D3, and she's been paying for it for 19 months. And she said she would already paid off $14,224. She would already paid off $1,400 off that by the time April comes around. So yeah, we can do a chunk anytime. I just don't want to do it here. I want to do it, you know, kind of when it gets a little lower down here. Maybe June of that month of that year. So yeah, March, April, May, June of 2021. We'll probably go ahead and pay off that credit card, and then the debt tool balance will go back up, and then we'll just pay off the debt tool, and then all 5 of her debts will be paid off. And always remember in Velocity, just because you have it on the board, you have it on a writing, you have all this, doesn't mean you can't modify things if you find a better way, or if you find a better way to pay it, whether it be plastic. Some people start a business and they loan themselves money through the business. So there's other ways you can do this that's not set in stone, but we got to start out with something first, and you can always modify it later. So did everybody understand that? And then we're going to go into the interest saved in just a second. I'm going to give you a second to look at the board. Okay, I'm back. I'm going to be changing screens real quick. And we're going to go over, because everybody always asks, they're saying, okay, well, you just took debt from, you know, credit cards and loans and student loans, and all you did was make that debt go on to another debt. That is true, but most of it is amortized debt versus simple debt, so the interest is actually calculated differently. So we're going to show you how much interest she actually saved by paying off her taxes and her car with a simple interest line of credit, which is actually her credit card. So give me 1 second. Kathy, that's awesome. And if you have any questions, reach out to me. No worries. Wendy, I got your message. And if you'd like to reach out to me, you can go on the Facebook page and email me, and we'll figure out something. A debt tool doesn't have to be a credit card. It doesn't have to be a line of credit. It can be some of your, you know, you could use your savings. I don't really suggest that. But if we had to, just to kind of do a snowball effect first to then go into Velocity Cash Flow Banking, we can do that. But don't think that, you know, there's no way out. We can definitely find a way out. We just gotta, sometimes it's always nice to have somebody else look at your numbers. Honestly, even for me, just to let you guys know, I just didn't come across this. I watched hours and hours of video and ran my numbers 100 times, and I paid for a consultation for a couple of different people, and I'm like, okay, I think I got this now. I did my first chunk, and man, after that, I was hooked. it was, like I said, a life changer for me. And so please, if you don't know what a debt tool is or what debt tool you're going to use, have somebody else look at your numbers that know how to run your numbers, and we'll find out how to use your debt tool or how we can get you a debt tool. You may not have one now, but you might have one in 3 months if we can figure out how to get you one. Okay, so here's where we're going to go at the interest. So I'm hoping everybody can see this. So the car, we don't need to go over all this again. We've already went over this. So her car loan by itself was $1,595. If she would have paid every single month and not paid it off now, this is what she would have paid in interest. Her taxes, if she would have kept paying on that $9,500, 15, I don't even know how many months that was. I'll have to ask Tammy to divide 9.5 divided by 115, but it was like a lots of months. I can't remember exactly how many months it was, but it was over $3,000 in taxes. So if she would have made those payments like normal, like a lot of people do, they just make those payments, she would have paid $4,595 just in interest payments. But since we used her credit card to pay it off, and then threw all of her extra income into that, what we did is, if you go through the numbers here, I'm not going to write it down, but if you actually went through all the numbers and you looked and saying, okay, the very first month, if you look right here, the very first month, her balance was this. She has to pay interest on that. It's not a 0% credit card like some people do have for debt tools. We don't have that, so she is going to be paying interest on that. So she'll be paying interest on that month, this month, this month, and this month, and then so on and so on and so on. I think what we came up, I think this was like $94 was here, and then it went down to $80, and then it went down to like 60 some dollars. And a lot of people sit there and go, okay, well, why wouldn't you just throw the extra money into here? Because she's still saving the interest. She's paying interest on this credit card, but saving way more by paying it off, because these are amortized loans. So if we look at that over the cost, and this was through March, this was actually through April. Her debt tool, all the interest we're going to be paying on this debt tool is going to be $1,224. She is going to be paying interest on it over the life of almost, 19 months, but her interest she would have paid is $45.95. So if you take the interest she would have paid and what she actually did pay on her debt tool, she saved $3,300, almost $3,400. So, I mean, it's just literally shifting debt from one debt tool, from one debt, line of credit or amortized, to another debt. That's actually simple interest. That's where you're able to save the interest. So please let me know in the comments. I'm going to step back real quick if you have any questions right now. I'm going to leave this up real quick. Thank you, Angela, for calculating that. So she was saying 82 months she was paying on the taxes. And remember, we're paying it off after the 5th month. We're going to pay it off in February. That's when her payment's going to be, is in February. She's going to pay off her taxes. So that's why she's saving so much interest on her taxes. Yes, again, she's paying a little bit of interest on the credit card, but not as much as she's paying on these amortized loans. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm going to hop off here. I'm going to take some screenshots and give them to Tammy. You could still ask questions afterwards, but I'm going to head out. Thank you again.